Hey, what's up interwebs? I'm that toy guy, and today I'm going to be taking a look at Transformers The Last Knight Premier Edition Deluxe Class Cogman. So here he is, and first we'll take a quick look at the box. So right up front there you got a picture of Cogman. He's an Autobot, he's a Deluxe Class, yada yada yada. Still makes no sense. He is an Intrepid Protector, which is funny because he tries to kill the person he's supposed to protect several times in the movie. Nitro Zeus. The picture's on the back, yay, box. And it landed somewhere soft. Now, here is Cogman in his robot mode. And we're starting off with robot mode because he is a Titan Master. Not a very well painted Titan Master, but he's a Titan Master nonetheless. He's got the upside down face on his back. And your standard Titan Master articulation. And his arm fell off. He does have his own face for his face, and he turns into his own head. I just think that's really funny. But yeah, that's basically Cogman. I mean, yeah, here he is next to one of Drift's swords. So he's quite small. You all know how Titan Masters work. Transformation into head mode is just like that. And that's pretty much it for Cogman. But that's not all that you get in the box. You also get this sword, which is the Knights of Iacon Talisman Sword. Excuse me. The one that Cade used. And it looks pretty good. It's not accurate, but it still looks pretty good. It doesn't fit in Cogman's hands at all. But yeah, I like it. But the best accessory you get with any Transformer, in my opinion, you get an Aston Martin DB11 with this figure. This is a $207,000 car that does 509 miles an hour. And it's a very, very nice looking car. And it's an accessory to this figure. And I'm just kidding. This is the actual deluxe class portion of the toy. But in the movie, this was Cogman. So I count this as an accessory, and that is Cogman. Now, the Aston Martin comes from basically, in the movie, he was getting Sir Edmund Burton away from TRF using a bunch of decoy cars. There was this car, some electric car whose name I forget, and a McLaren P1, which is also very nice. But I like the Aston Martin. And I wasn't expecting a whole lot from this figure. This is my favorite figure of the Last Knight toy line. It beats this thing. It's really good. I mean, it's based off Crosshairs. The transformation is very, very similar to Crosshairs. So it is based off Crosshairs. Has a little bit of drift in it, but the good part of drift, not the bad part. So let's take a look at the Aston Martin DB11 here. It's a brand new car. It looks very nice. It's not in focus. There you go. You got the Aston Martin badge, you got the grille. It's all done in this sort of gray silver plastic, similar to what Dark of the Moon Sideswipe was done in. You got some silver rims. The black on top looks very nice. I do love the pinstriping here. It looks really cool. The taillights are painted. The back is painted. Just this car looks really beautiful. I really like the way this car looks. For comparison, here he is next to Drift. Now this car is more expensive and faster, but, you know, I like this one a lot better. But these are probably my two most favorite vehicle modes from The Last Knight. Probably from the whole movie line in general, because they look really nice. But yeah, there's comparison. Here he is next to Skydive, who I just dropped on the camera. There he is next to a Combiner Wars Deluxe. And just because he's sitting on the table, here he is next to Generation Straxus. Why not? But yeah, you can store the sword. There's a little tab and slot. You can just peg it into the bottom here. There's your sword storage. Now you may notice White Leo, or Daburo, is sitting in the passenger seat. Passenger seat. You can lift the canopy up, and there are two seats in there. It's very hard to get them in there, so I'm not going to try and squeeze Cogman in. But there's a little peg underneath the steering wheel, which you peg the Titan Master feet into, and you just got a regular dashboard. But this, I think, is the first ever two-seater Titan Master or Headmaster gimmick we've ever gotten officially. And that's really cool, because this car is a two-seater. And, I mean, it's not to scale completely, but Cogman was 4 feet tall, so, I don't know, Human Alliance figure? I've never owned a Human Alliance figure, so I don't know how big they are. But yeah, I'm just going to get White Leo out of here. So you can take a look at the interior there. It's got a steering wheel, it's got a dashboard, it's got, that's it. And then this, whatever this is supposed to be. There's no center. Well, there is a center console as well, which is molded in, which is very nice. No space in the back. I mean, there is space, but it's very hard to get at. You have to like open this. I'm not going to do that. But yeah, this Aston Martin is my favorite last night movie toy. It's really cool. Now to transform this thing, it's very similar to Crosshairs. Very similar to Crosshairs. Just flipped over. So to do this, you're going to make sure your audio is still recording because it disappeared. There you go. To do this, the first thing you want to do is you want to open the canopy like so, and then come to the sides here and just lift this panel up like that, and then the whole thing will just start to separate. You want to accordion this down and just lift it up and get it out of the way. Next thing you want to do is you want to come back here and you want to fold down the feet, fold this section back, fold this panel in, and fold it onto the back of the leg. Rotate it, and there you have a leg all done. Fold this crotch plate up like that. Do the same on this side. Just like so. And there you go. Raise the camera. Then you want to flip this chest plate down like that. Come to the top here. Split the grill. Take the hood and raise it up. Very hard to do. There you go. Take the shoulders and bring them down. Take the grill section, fold it back, fold this up, rotate the hood, close it back together, and then bring this whole section up like that onto his back. Then you want to come to the arms and bend them down, flip out the fist, fold that panel in. Do the same on this side. There you have the Aston Martin in its robot mode. Then you want to take Cogman here, fold him in half, and then peg him on top. And there you have Cogman in his robot mode, and he looks like Cogman. He looks really, really cool. I love the paintwork on this. It's just upsetting to me that it's all broken up, but that's just due to budget. It's expensive to make these things. Expensive. But getting in closer on the head sculpt, very nice looking Cogman head sculpt, looks very cool. I love the paint wash they gave this guy. It makes him look a little older because he's been serving the aristocracy for 1,500 years or whatever he said in the movie. But it does look very nice, all this nice paintwork and detail and things like that. I do have a splash of red paint there, no idea where that came from, but whatever. But yeah, it looks very nice. The backpack also does condense down nice and cleanly. That's another thing I really like about this. But yeah, he's pretty cool. Articulation wise, standard Titan Master peg, so you got all that. Arms are on a ball joint. They can go out that far, and with the shoulder joint they can go out that far. You do have a little bit of play in and out here, which is nice. Shoulder pad can move out. Arms, bicep swivel, elbow bend 90 degrees. If you fold this panel down, you have wrist movement, which I'll get to in a second. Nothing at the waist due to how this whole crotch section here works. Ball joint at the hips, swivel just above the knee, bend at the knee, which is very tight, and the feet can go forwards before they push the panel out in the back, but they can still go forwards. So yeah, and Cogman can hold his sword, just like so, and this is where the hand pointing down comes into play, because now you can get some proper sword poses with his hand, like roll the dice motion, which is really, really cool. I like how that's included in here. And because he's a Titan Master, he can fall over. He can do the whole head swapping gimmick. So let's just get White Leo here. You can do that if you want. You can even do this if you want. That just looks really weird. I'm not going to do that again. But the whole interplayability thing with Nitro Zeus here was apparently in one of the first drafts of the movie, Cogman was going to take over his head spot, but that never really happened. But here you go. You can still do this anyways. Nitro's head joint is very floppy though, so yeah, whatever. Cogman though is still pretty cool. Now, for a comparison, here he is next to Skydive, so you can see there. He's a little bit shorter than Skydive, not by much. And here he is next to the best version of Drift to come out ever. Yep. And because he's standing here, here he is next to Nitro Zeus. Yeah. So he's not the tallest deluxe in the world, but he's not the shortest, but he's not supposed to be the tallest because he was very short in the movie. But I would highly recommend you go pick this figure up. It is very cool. I really do like it a lot. And there's a reason why there's no stop motion at the beginning of this, is because it's so hard to do that with a Titan Master. So, sorry. And one more thing to talk about with the Kibble fix things is people have been requesting them, which is awesome. Someone requested crosshairs. I can't do crosshairs because I don't have one as of yet. The one I used in my previous review stop motion was a junker I bought for $1 because someone painted it really terribly. The Last Night crosshairs still cost $30, and I'm not buying it just yet, but I will eventually. But for the Kibble fixes, they don't just have to be Last Night toys. They can be from any toy line besides G1, alternators, third party, or Star Wars. It can be anything else but those. Just wanted to point that out. So that has been my look at Transformers The Last Night Deluxe Class Cogman, which is my favorite figure from the Last Night toy line. And I never thought anything would beat this. So, yeah. And I'm that toy guy, and stay tuned for my next video.